Hi, you are tuned into the Saffron podcast from De Facto. Okay, so there's nothing sensational about the name what you buffoons might be imagining. It's just my favorite color. No double meaning, huh? Here we tell our listeners what shit went on this week. So this is our first episode. Well, there was no need to confirm it, I guess. Based on how absurd this podcast name is, this fits perfect for some bold dash news. So what happened is that a series of controversy took place over Sabyasachi and H&M. India है controversy तो जायज़ है. Wait, why didn't I name this podcast what I just said? That was soothing to ears, man. Might have been a clickbait if I did. Okay, getting back on where we were, the backlash has its roots in the series in which Sabyasachi is collaborating with H&M called Wanderlust. The collection allegedly is inspired from Indian traditional garbs, specifically Sanganeri print from Rajasthan. The Sanganeri print artisans have a geographical indication registration, which means they are legally recognized as the proprietors of this technique and design vocabulary. Albeit, H&M didn't recognize them as such. In response, the Kendra Queens of Traditional Crafts promotion collectively wrote about their negligence. Now, Sabyasachi's reply is something what is termed as naivety. According to him, while he championed the craftspeople and a great heritage of textile and crafts, the Wanderlust collection was a chance for designers to make their creations accessible to the larger high street market. The high street consumer today is your aspirational luxury consumer of tomorrow, he wrote. And instead of craft devolving to match a lower price point, the consumer will rise up to covet it for its real value. He emphasized that his company was deeply respectful of Indian crafts, geographical indication representation, and the rights of our artisans. I mean, yeah, we know that really well how ethically sound is H&M. There's a whole separate list of controversies waiting to be cleaned up on this brand. Well, the excerpt I just read was from one of the articles on News Laundry. Another story almost sounded to me like a vagary, but hey, it is true. Life turned out to be a can of worms for Syed Ahmad Shah Sadr, ex-information minister of Afghanistan, when he relinquished his position in 2020, sensing Taliban's bloody agenda in line. He then reportedly arrived in Germany in December 2020 and began working as a pizza delivery boy in Leipzig. It was only a few days back when a German journalist spotted him on the streets and clicked his photograph that the whole thing went viral. Insane, no? That's what we are here for. Next in line is what Taliban has to say to women. Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid urged women to stay home because fighters have not been trained to respect them, insinuating that it is a temporary policy and they will be allowed to work or study freely on a condition that they wear hijabs. Heather Barr, the Associate Director of Women's Rights at Human Rights Watch, said that the claim that restrictions on women's lives are a temporary necessity is not new to Afghan women. The Taliban made similar claims the last time they controlled Afghanistan too. She further stated that, quote, the explanation was that the security was not good and they were waiting for security to be better and then women would be able to have more freedom. But of course, in those years they were in power, that moment never arrived. And I can promise you, Afghan women hearing this today are thinking it will never arrive this time either, unquote. To acquaint you which last time she's mentioning about, it was during the first years of Taliban rule, from 1996 to 2001. Okay, no specific long-winded gibberish on Taliban, just one sentence. Dude, have you ever known what freedom is? Now the upcoming one is a spat between BJP and Shiv Sena. Soon after Ranero, BJP leaders seek FIR against Uddhav Thackeray's contentious remarks against Yogi Adityanath back in 2018 when he wasn't the CM of Maharashtra. In a video making the rounds on the internet, he is seen to be saying that Yogi should be slapped with his chappal for garlanding a photo of Shivaji wearing a footwear. The one who shared this video has complained that Adityanath is not only the CM of Uttar Pradesh and a BJP leader, but also the Mahant of Gorakhpur Mutt, and therefore the sentiments of many Hindus are attached to him. And that makes me wonder yet again that why there hasn't been a well thought out law in the history of India where we could keep religion and governance separate. Adding the word secular in the preamble just implicitly guarantees it throughout, nothing more. Well, I chose this tidbit because it sounded quite amusing to me. Both the parties making same snide remarks of beating each other with chappal. That's something new. So now the final boulder dash is on its way, which is about Neeraj Chopra commenting on India. Prior notice. He's making a point, so Bucks might not get it. In a conversation with TOI, he revealed that he didn't get a chance to participate in Diamond League considering that his training came to a halt soon after he returned from Tokyo. With numerous functions to attend in queue, he even fell ill because of fatigue. He mentioned further that things need to change in India. It's a nice thing that a medal has come, but everything needs to be systematic. The sport needs continuous attention, and I believe Neeraj Chopra has said what was needed. The athletes or anyone from sports receives recognition only when they win a medal. We have won a gold medal in athletics for the first time in Olympics, and that's not a thing we should be proud of, but something to be ashamed over when the country at the top, which is China, has won 634 medals, out of which 261 are gold. There's a need to unveil the mystery behind it. It could be because of financial or social problems worthy players might be facing, or even a government dereliction. What we need is journalism to stay true to its core, and it equally applies to subfields like fashion or sports journalism too. So that was all for this week. We'll meet again soon. This podcast is of De facto. We also write articles and satires on current issues in both English and Hindi on our Medium page. Our username there is @De facto. You can also follow us on Twitter where we come up with political cartoons whenever we feel like it. Our Twitter handle is @De facto official. So finally wrapping it up, here's De facto signing off.